Hi, welcome back to another video, or welcome if you are new. My name is Rose and I go to Seneca College, and in today's video I wanted to go over the new MySeneca website and how to navigate it. So let's get started. So they recently changed the Seneca website. Like before, you used to be able to type into Google Seneca Blackboard, and I think that was what the site was called, but now it's called MySeneca. So once you get to the MySeneca website, it looks like this. I actually like it because it looks very organized. There's tabs, and I don't know, it just overall looks very organized and clean. And also I want to say that I like how they had a Seneca College student design the website. The only thing that I kind of didn't really like is the picture. Right here it shows a mountain top or some valley. I feel like they should have used a panoramic view of Seneca Newnham, the bridge. That would have been nice because it is the Seneca website, so I don't know why they used a valley. But yeah, the valley picture just looks like a nice desktop picture for your computer background. So I'm gonna go over each tab, and then I'm gonna scroll down and go over everything. So the first tab is apps and tools, and it's on the top here, so I'm just gonna click on that, and you'll be brought to this page where you can use the GPA calculator to help calculate your GPA for the semester. And then I'm just gonna show you quickly what it looks like. That's actually quite odd. It says you have to join this space to participate. So I don't really get what this is and why you would have to join to participate. That's confusing. On the old Seneca Blackboard website, it just had a calculator where you could calculate your GPA. But let's go back. And then Learn at Seneca is where you can get to the Seneca Blackboard website. I don't think it's called Seneca Blackboard anymore. It's now called Learn at Seneca, but this is where you can get to the homepage, this page, and then all your courses. So I went over how to navigate this site before in a previous video, so I'll leave the link here. And then they also have the lockers. This is also confusing because you have to click to join this space. They used to have a locker lottery where you can get a locker, but I guess because of COVID they don't have that really. And then other apps, this is where you'll be brought to this page, which is actually good. So they show you the Seneca mobile app, Seneca Navigate, Seneca Safe, Seneca Rideshare. So the Seneca mobile app is all about Seneca College. And then the Seneca Navigate app, I actually haven't explored this app before, but it says it finds classrooms, study spaces, food services, and washrooms easily thanks to detailed maps of the campuses, I guess. And then I haven't used these apps before. Seneca Safe, oh actually Seneca Safe I have, obviously everybody has to use it now to put your vaccination certificate into, and then also to take the self-assessment test every time you come on a campus. So they have that. And then I haven't used the Seneca Rideshare app before. So it says plan your commute, log your trips, and share a ride to recover some of your driving costs. So I guess you can take a car ride with someone else from Seneca and share the cost, I guess. So let's go back. Okay, let's go to the COVID updates. So this is the official site where you can find out information about COVID restrictions that Seneca College is doing, government new policies and all of that. So as you can see all of that. There's links and stuff. So I'm just gonna go back, and then the email is just your Seneca email. And then the GPA calculator, I'm confused why they put this here again, because they already put it in the apps and tools. Okay, so this is what I was talking about before. This is the GPA calculator where you can put your courses and your grades, and you can figure out what your GPA is. So I don't know what that other GPA thing was. And then the Learn at Seneca tab is here. That'll take you to the Seneca Blackboard again. So I get why they put this tab again, but I don't know why they put it in the apps and tools part. And then the My News, let's click on that. So this is the page for finding out Seneca College news and about campuses and stuff. So they have these like alumni, I guess like in the Red magazine, these like stories. And then to the right hand side there's student news, so they have like some news parts here about like Seneca vaccination clinic and stuff like that. And then underneath they have, I actually found out that they have a Seneca Proud podcast now, so that's pretty cool. So I guess these are the episodes so far. And then they have the like social media pages here where you can just click on them and then it'll instantly bring you to like the Seneca College social media pages. And then over here it just has like all the upcoming events that's happening at Seneca College. So there's a virtual university degree and information fair, there's the Bell Let's Talk event that's going to be happening tomorrow. And then if you scroll to the bottom, they have the About Seneca, Safety and Security, IT Support, Contact Seneca. So if you click on the Seneca homepage, it just brings you to like the Seneca College like website where you can search up programs. You can like go to campus tours, international students, find out more about that, how to apply and that sort of stuff. And webinars over here. So I'm just gonna go back, and then over here they have a link to academic policy. So if you ever want to like look it up, maybe for like academic integrity week, or like just policies in general, if you're unsure, they have it all here, all the different policies. And then let's go back. So under safety and security, they have a link to counseling services. So they have like the web page, everything, all the information, support for academic accommodations, all that sort of stuff about counselors, learning strategists, assistive technologists, and then contact us if you ever want to call the counseling services offices at the different campuses. So that's all here. And then if you go back, this is also where you can report an incident. So this is basically like the Seneca Safe app. So you can like file a report if there's like an emergency on campus and you don't feel safe. They also give you this, so find out like how to keep safe. So that's all here. And then if we go back, this is the IT support. So they have an IT desk at every like campus. So if you have forgotten or like your password expired on the MySeneca website, then you can just click here and you can change your password here or reset a password, all of that. So I'm just gonna go back. So you don't actually have to like use the IT like service machine at a campus because everything's online now. So they just have the easy link here. And then you can also chat with the service desk, which is the IT people, if you have any questions. And right below it is where you can submit an IT service request. So if something like, say if you borrowed a laptop from the IT desk and you can like, and there's like something wrong with it, then you can like submit a request for the service of the IT desk here. And then to the far right, it just says contact Seneca. It has their address if you ever want to know, their postal code, phone number to keep in contact, and like the campuses and different locations of Seneca College. So it just provides you an easy link to all the campuses at Seneca College and their locations and all their information here. So if we go back and we scroll all the way up and then go back, and then student home is, there's just like an easy link right there and you just click on it and you go back to student home. I went over all of these different tabs in I think the same video where I went over Seneca Blackboard, so I won't go over that right now, but it's here. There's like an easy link to it. So I'm just gonna exit that and then go back. So if you see like the tabs at the top, home brings you to this page. And then browse, I don't really know what that is, but spaces, let's see what spaces is. So spaces, they have like all these tabs which are like frequently asked questions or like easy links to get to if you have like general questions. So like academic support, apps and tools again, career support, faculties getting involved, health and fitness. So if you want to know more about like the fitness center and some of the classes that are going on, it's right here. And then this is all about international students. So let's click on the first one, academic support. So it'll bring you to this page, all these different tabs, and I'm going to go through each one. So academic pathways. So the academic pathways just brings you to this website where they like give you more information on academic pathways. So if you want to pursue another program from your program and like seeing the pathways, or if you want to go to university after Seneca College, then they have all that information here and what pathways that they do offer. I'm gonna exit that and go back, and then our faculties. So our faculties just brings you to this site, and it just shows you all the different like faculties and programs that are offered at Seneca College. So if you want to know more about certain areas, then you can just click on one of these and it'll bring you to another website and you can find out more information about it. So I'm gonna go back and let's click on the test centers tab. So it's going to bring you to the test center website where you can book a skills assessment test if you do need. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to click on the IT services. So this just brings you to the IT services webpage, which you can find out more information. You can find out more about the IT services, their policies, software, and all of that. So I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to go to the Seneca Libraries tab, which just brings you to the Seneca Libraries webpage, which just like shows you all the help that you can get and what the Seneca Libraries even like provide in terms of services. Say for example, for an assignment you need like data, for example articles that you need to cite in an assignment or need to use for an assignment. You can just go to the databases tab here and you'll be brought to this page and you can just search for whatever you're looking for. So I'm actually going to go back, and then also they have the bookable spaces part here, which is where unfortunately due to COVID you can't book a study space, but before you could. So it just brings you to this page anyways. And then exit that. I'm going to go to the citation tab here, and it just shows you like a guide on how to do citations, APA, MLA, all of that. So I'm going to exit that and then go back, and then research tab, and then you'll be brought to this page where you can ask a librarian a question about citing stuff. They normally know how to like cite stuff for papers, so they can help you with that. Or if you are having trouble like searching on the database, they can help you with that as well. So I'm going to exit that and go back, and then I'm going to go back. Okay, let's move on to the Learning Centers tab. There's a lot of tabs. So this is the Learning Center website. This is where you can find out information on tutoring. So if you need help in some courses, they also have the Strive Habits That Support Success, which is like a workshop or workshops where they give you helpful tips on how to be successful in your program and how to manage like course loads and stuff like that. I actually attended the Strive workshop, so I found it very helpful. And then they also have English like little meetups where you can practice your English if you are an international student and English isn't your first language. So yeah, that's that. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna show you the Seneca Sandbox tab. So the Seneca Sandbox is, they have green screen rooms where you can work on video projects for classes, and they also have cameras that you can borrow. So this is their website. So I'm gonna go back again, and then I'm gonna show you the LinkedIn Learning tab. So this is the LinkedIn Learning tab, and I'm not sure, but I went to a LinkedIn like learning workshop that the Seneca Career Development Office did, and I think I remember them saying that as a student that you have access to like tutorial videos on LinkedIn that you can like go through, and they're like courses. So I believe this is what it is, and I guess if you go to the login LinkedIn Learning, then that's like how you get to it. So that's that, and then I'm gonna go back again and I'm gonna go to the Student Advising tab. So this is the Student Advising tab, and this is where you can like find out what even a student advisor is. So they say it all here, and then also how to find your student advisor. So that's right here. They tell you how to do it. So that's all here, and then I'm just gonna scroll up and go back, and I'm gonna show you the last tab, which is the Virtual Commons tab. So you'll be brought to this page, And it says a virtual commons allows current students to connect to the desktop of a computer. Oh, okay, within the computing commons. And so it's available for Mac and Windows, and it just shows you how to do it. I guess to use like Seneca College services on the computer, I guess. I'm not too sure about that, but that's all here and they give you all the information. So I'm gonna go back, and under your name, you can see my apps and tools again, your activity stream, so like any announcements that you get from professors will be there. Any bookmarks you have, your calendar, so it'll show you whatever you put into your calendar, if you did put stuff into your calendar, like when classes are, due dates and stuff like that. And then they also have the required reading tab, mentions, workflow. I'm not really too sure what these are. And then underneath that is just your preferences, and then this is where you can log out. So now that we've gone over all the tabs at the top of this MySeneca webpage, let's scroll down. Okay, so in the middle, it says what's happening at Seneca. So they have like a little video here, week, you know, whatever week it is. And then they have upcoming events again here. They have announcements again, it's here. And then underneath at the very bottom, they have student support tabs, which you can easily click on, and then you'll be brought to like the specific pages. So I already went over academic and career in like the spaces like tab here, academic support and career support. I already went over that, so I'm not going to go over that right now. So I'm just going to exit that. So I'll go over the office of the registrar first. So then you'll be brought to the office of the registrar site. And so they have 4 different tabs. So they have the admissions tab. So let's click on that and then scroll down. So they have information in 3 categories: if you're doing part-time studies, if you're an international student, if you are a Canadian student. So they have it easily in these 3 categories. So since I am a Canadian student or a Canadian applicant, so I'm just going to click on that, and then it'll just bring you to this page. It'll show you these easy like tabs here where you can apply for a program. You can see program availability. You can see admission requirements for a Canadian applicant. You can see frequently asked questions. So I'm gonna go back, and then the same for international applicants and people who want to do part-time studies. So I'm gonna go back. And I'm gonna click on class schedule. So it brings you to this page, and they just give you like tips and recommendations to creating a class schedule. They like tell you how to do it if you are a new student or if you are a returning student. So let's go back again, and then let's go to paying your studies. So it'll bring you to this page, and if you just scroll down, so you'll be brought to this page, and there's different tabs here again. So if you want to know more about awards, scholarships, and bursaries, then you can just click on this one. If you want to know details about like your fees and the breakdown of it, then you can click on this tab. And then if you do want to make a payment for tuition, then you can just click on this. And then also OSAP, if you want more information, then you can click on that. If you do want an like on-campus job or a job at Seneca College as part-time to help pay for your studies, then you can click on the work study program and you'll be brought to this page. And then basically they just help with like job postings, and you can apply to different jobs. So they go over it here. So any student can do the work study program if you are a full-time student. And then I'm gonna go back, and then I'm going to click on the registration services. So you'll be brought to the registration services site, and this site makes it easier. Well, all the sites make it easier with like all these tabs because everything is online. I guess they wanted to make everything concise and easy to find. So they have like the academic policies in this tab. They have important forms. If you do need forms to fill out, then you can find it here. They have information about convocation, which is graduation. So let's click on that. So you'll be brought to the convocation site. and this just gives like more information about convocation. And to the side they give like little notes here. So because they don't have like the convocation ceremonies due to COVID, they just have like a little reminder to make sure that your address is up to date so that you can get your credential. And then they also go over some of the stuff that you should go through if you are a graduating student. So if you have an address change, if you have a name change, stuff like that here. And also they give the convocation office and how to contact them, all their information here. Oh, that's so cute. And tag convocation. Like they have a little hashtag Seneca grad 2021. Oh, that's so cute. So yeah, they have all the information about graduation and convocation if you have any questions or if you're unsure about convocation. So I'm gonna go back. And paying for your studies, I already went over that. Financial assistance, let's go to that. Brings you to this page, and it just like mentions some of the stuff that you can do to earn money. So like the work study program that I like briefly talked about before, and then also OSAP if you are a domestic student, and then financial awards. So you can apply to like financial awards, scholarships, bursaries, all of that. So I'm gonna go back, and then class schedule I went over already. And then they have like a easy tab, so if you want to know important academic dates, so these are dates that students should be aware of. They're just like general dates, like when is the last day that you can drop a course, when is the last day that you can add courses, when the last day of the semester is, stuff like that. So that's all here. I'm gonna go back again, and then they have a tab if you want to withdraw. So it brings you to this like withdrawing page. And this is just where you can find more information about withdrawing from a program, and they give you the form that you have to fill out. Also, if you want to take a leave of absence, so they give you the form that you have to fill out, all the information. So all of that is here. That is it for the registration services, and I'm going to go back again. So that is all for Office of the Registrar. Now let's click on Support Services tab. So you'll be brought to the support services webpage, where you now have 2, 4, 6, 8 tabs. So I will go through each. So we have the equity, diversity, and inclusion tab. Then you'll be brought to this page where you can find support for the LGBTQ community, Black student support, Indigenous student support. It's all here, which is very nice. So it's all here, and then let's go back. Let's see the personal counseling and accessible learning services. So this page is all for the counseling services as well as the learning services. So you can find out more here. And then let's go back again. Let's go to the First Peoples at Seneca. So you'll be brought to the First Peoples at Seneca webpage. And this is where you can find out more information about them and what services that they offer and stuff like that. And then they also have information at the bottom of staff who support First Peoples or Indigenous people. So they have an Indigenous counselor or a coordinator and staff like that. So let's go back. And let's click on the Seneca Medical Center. So this is the doctor's office at each Seneca campus. So it brings you to the Seneca Medical Center website. So it just goes over booking medical appointments with a doctor, virtual medical appointments, and then all of that. And it also goes over what to bring to an appointment as well. So you can find out more information about the doctor's office at Seneca College and all of that here. So let's go back. And let's go to the health and dental insurance tab. So you'll be brought to the health and dental insurance website. So let's click on the health insurance for international students. So it just goes over the health insurance and services that they offer to international students. I feel like underneath this health and dental insurance tab, they should have put a link to wespeakstudent.com, which is a site that goes over health insurance and the dental services for Seneca College students. And I'm actually going to show you. Let's go to wespeakstudent.com. So I'm actually going to show you the website. This is the wespeakstudent.com website, and you just fill out your information, and this is where you can opt out of health insurance or dental insurance if you already have that, so that you're not paying again, you know what I mean? And then also you can find out more information about all the services, and which dental offices to go to and all of that, and how much money that you have. So I'm surprised that they didn't put this link in. So let's exit that. They should have put it in this part. Oh well, let's go back. And they have the student contact office tab, and then you'll be brought to this page. So this is if you ever, I got sexually assaulted by a college student, so this is who I talk to. And so if you ever want to report on sexual violence, and then if you want to know the student code, and then some of their policies, and if you ever want to submit a complaint about another student, about another teacher, if someone inappropriately touched you, or if something happened, then you can submit a complaint here. And there are policies in place and rules and stuff that the student contact office can do. So if you are in need, then I would suggest reaching out to them. They do have their information here. So let's go back, and then let's go, I already went over the IT services, so let's go to the visas and permits tab. So basically it just brings you to this page, and it's for international students, of course, and you can just find all your questions that you have about visas and permits here, and all information and everything. So it's all here. So let's go back, and then let's go back. So yeah, that's all for student support. And then let's scroll down. So life at Seneca. So life at Seneca tab, so they have health and wellness, they have life online, life on campus. So if you do click on health and wellness, then it brings you to the health and wellness website, where you can learn more about athletics and recreation, and the recreation office. And so it'll bring you to this page where you can find out information about fitness classes that are happening, and just events that the Seneca Recreation is doing. And then on the side you can also see the video library in case you have missed classes and you want to go back and view the class and do the class on your own time. You can do that there. So yeah, all the Seneca Recreation office information is here. And then if you go back, they have COVID updates, they have the health and dental insurance that I showed you before, the doctor's office. I already went over the counseling and accessibility and learning center services, so I'm going to go back. So I'm going to click on Life Online, and it'll bring you to this tab. I pretty much went over all of these tabs. Let me just quickly glance over it and see if I haven't. So I haven't went over the learning online. So they just have some tabs here where you can learn more about academic integrity. There's some tools to online learning, so ways to navigate online classes and online learning, and then where to get support. So let's go back, and then let's go to the Seneca Connect tab. So it'll bring you to the Seneca Connect. I'm actually unsure of what this is, but it says it's a space that offers students in Canada and abroad behind the scenes peer perspective on living, learning, and working and celebrating in Canada. So I guess they just show you, or they give you little tips or information about learning in Canada. I'm actually unsure. So going back, I think the last one that I did not show was the program delivery updates. Oh, and this page isn't even found, so I don't even have to show you it. But I think this page, you can just search up your program and see how your program is being delivered, especially with the changing government regulations. It's easy to stay up to date on how your program is going to be running in the next semester, or even in the current semester that you are in. So it'll say how your program is going to be run, either hybrid, online, if you're going to have to do in-person classes. I'm just unsure why the page isn't found. I guess they didn't link the proper webpage for it, but I have seen the page where you can look up your program and see how it's going to be running. So I went through all the other tabs, so I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to click on the last one, Life on Campus, and it'll bring you to this page. and these are all the tabs that you'll need for living on campus. So I already went over the athletics and recreation. So the computer commons, I think I went over this one already. Oh, so they just give you information about printing services, loaning laptops, and the computer commons in general. So I'm gonna go back, and then off-campus housing, let's click on that tab. So, oh yeah, Seneca College also partners with Places for Students Inc. And so basically they help Seneca students find affordable housing off campus. So if you are looking for accommodations off campus, so I would suggest looking at Places for Students Inc. And they just provide a like database of like housing accommodations that are in need of people to move in. So yeah, you can look up photos and then contact information, property features, all of that here. And then they also give you like some tips on what to look for to not get scammed if you are deciding to rent a property instead of living on residence. So that is all here. So I'm gonna go back, and they give you information on residents. So this is just information all about residents and living on campus. So all the information is here. So I'm gonna go back, and then if you want to book a campus tour, they have the tab here, and you'll be brought to this page. And in a previous video I went over all of this and what it looks like to book a tour online. So I'm gonna go back, and then they have information about the dining services at residence that the cafeteria offers. So all the meal plan options and what's open, the schedule of what like restaurants are open at the cafeteria. So they have like all the dining services here. And then if you go back, the one card tab, so this is information about the one card, how to get a one card, and all the services that the one card like offers. So like you can put money on it for printing, for parking, and for paying for stuff around campus. So all of that is here. I'm gonna go back, and I already went over the security tab, and I went over First Peoples, I went over medical doctor. Which one did I not go over? I don't think I went over campus maps. So it brings you to the 360 virtual campus tours, basically to the campus tours like site again. I don't know why they created a second tab for that if they already had the book campus tour. So these two are the same. And then also orientation, so this brings you to the orientation website. And this is odd. I thought they would like bring you to the orientation website where you can look up program orientation dates and all of that, like events that are for orientation. I don't know why they bring you to this page. Anyways, let's go back. And I did not show you the campus store bookstore website, so it'll just bring you to the bookstore website, and you can look up what your Seneca campus stores, like what items that they offer, and you can also look up textbooks as well. So all of that there. And then let's go back. Health and dental insurance I went over. Parking I did not go over. So they go over like parking passes, parking fees, rates, and how to pay for parking. So it's all here. Let's go back again. Let's go to Seneca Navigate. So the Seneca Navigate just brings you to this page, and this is the Seneca Navigate app, which you can install. So this app, I think I talked about it briefly, but it just basically like helps you navigate your campus. And then let's go back. And then back at this page, the Seneca Safe app, it just brings you to the Seneca Safe app and like how to install it. And it just goes over what the Seneca Safe app entails. So the Seneca Safe app has a lot of information on how to stay safe on campus. It's also where you do your COVID self-assessment test. So yeah, it just shows you how to get the Seneca Safe app here. So let's go back and let's go to transportation. So it brings you to this page, and it just like provides information on how to get around and about shuttle buses. So let's go back. So that was the Life on Campus tab, this one. So let's scroll down. Okay, so lastly, there's 3 more tabs. Explore Seneca. So let's start off with the getting started or getting involved app. So it just brings it to this page. It brings you to the Seneca Abroad tab, where you can find out more information on how to study abroad and resources and information. So that's that. Let's go back. Clubs on campus. This is where you can find out all the SSF clubs. So you can just click on here and find out more information about the different clubs that Seneca College does offer. So let's go back. Seneca Leadership Program. This is a nice program. You learn more on how to be a leader, so you can join their program, and they have like events and stuff sometimes. And they also have the Seneca Leadership Institute, which is normally during study week, where there's like workshops about how to be a good leader, and like workshops and stuff, and like fun games and stuff. So that's a lot of fun. And then let's go back. Getting involved with student life. Let's click on that. Oh, so this is more about that podcast, I think. This is episode 2. I need to check this out. And then they also have like events that are happening. So I need to check out the Seneca podcast. I think that's fairly recent. And then they have information on the Seneca Student Federation, which is a club. And you can just click to find out more information about all the events that the SSF does host. And also their clubs and programs and activities that they host. So let's go back. And then let's go to the peer mentoring SMILE tab. So I talked about the SMILE mentorship program, I think, in another video. So this is where they give information about the SMILE mentorship program, where you can get a mentor in a second semester or higher that like answers general questions about the program to you and general questions about Seneca College. It's also good to ask them questions that you may have as a new student. So that's all here. And then it also like gives you a quick link on how to connect with a mentor, so how to get a mentor, and then also how to apply to be a mentor if you do want to mentor new students. So let's go back. And then lastly, the Seneca Works site. So this is where you can find part-time jobs or full-time jobs. You can also find out more information about the career development workshops that they do offer. So they have resume and cover letter workshops. They have networking skills websites. So that's all here. The Seneca Works website is where you can get a job, you can find a job, you can get information on how to write a good resume. Job search is all here. And yeah, let's go back. Let's click on the I'm an international student. So this just provides you easy tabs on stuff that you need to do and information if you are an international student. So it shows you a checklist for new students. I'm not a international student, so I don't really know too much about it, but it just shows you all these easy tabs about study permits, about how to enroll in classes, about a checklist for what you have to do in order to be an international student at Seneca College, and then all sorts of stuff. So it also gives you a tab on finances in Canada, because you are an international student, you wouldn't know. So it just lists Canadian banks and their information, and it just goes over basically the financial services in Canada. Yeah, these are helpful tips. It also has a find a medical facility, because if you're moving to Canada, obviously you don't have a doctor yet, so that's good. So yeah, let's go back and let's see the last tab. I am new. So this is for new students, and these are all the tabs that you will need if you want to find out more information as you are a new student. I did go over most of these tabs. I didn't go over Head Start, so I'll go over that. Excuse me. So you'll be brought to this website, and I have never heard of Head Start. I guess it is a little, it says tutorial. I guess like a little, I don't know what to call it, but a little service to help you learn about the services that Seneca College does offer as you are a new student. So yeah, that is all here. And then let's go back. I went over everything here, and yeah, that is it for the, let's scroll up first. So yeah, that is it for the MySeneca website and how to navigate it. I also am learning how to navigate it as well, because I'm so used to the Seneca Blackboard website. So this change is new to me as well. I believe they just like introduced it this semester. So yeah, they still have the old website it's just under Learn at Seneca. But yeah, I like this version. It's very clean and it looks very organized, and it's good because we're all learning online, so they have easy tabs and links where you can find out more information regarding services at Seneca College. So they do offer most sites and services on this website. So yeah, it's really good that they easily linked all the websites and services, like all the websites for it, so that it's easy to find online because everything is online nowadays. So yeah, that is it. I hope that helped you navigate the MySeneca website a little bit better and like what all these tabs entail, I guess. So yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.